I feel like I've been unfairly blamed. This is Johnny Somali's fault. If it wasn't for Johnny Somali, we wouldn't have the scrutiny that we have, or we would be able to get away with a lot more shit.
Seems like Johnny is out there being a nuisance again.
This is someone that unequivocally deserves it.
Yeah, these guys are parasites, and they deserve everything that's coming for them.
It's justified that people just beat his ass because he is just this miasma of cringe and just a general piece of shit.
The world should be thanking me a little bit. Like now you guys know all about the nuisance IRL streaming gang that's traveling the world and terrorizing.
He's been chased out of countries, banned from major platforms, and now faces nearly half a century in prison. Johnny Somali built his entire career on provoking strangers, disrespecting cultures, and turning outrage into views. For a while, it worked. The money came in, the audience grew, and his name became infamous across the streaming world. But the stunts that made him famous have finally caught up with him, and the fall is brutal. From Tokyo to Tel Aviv to Seoul, his reckless choices left behind a trail of outrage, legal trouble, and shattered bridges. Now, instead of chasing donations, he's staring down a prison sentence that could take away the rest of his life. Back in 2021, Johnny Somali hit the streets with a camera and an attitude. He wasn't out there trying to make friends. He was looking for trouble, confronting strangers, picking fights, and turning it into a show. One of his first big clips was a loud, ugly run-in with a group of teens in the US, and people online ate it up. The more he pushed, the more views he got. By 2023, he had over 50,000 followers on Twitch and millions of hits on his videos. And here's the problem. Every time he recrossed a line, his audience rewarded him for it. That kind of attention gets addictive fast, and for Johnny, it only pushed him to be more reckless, more obnoxious, and more dangerous.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki! Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know why we do to you this? Hiroshima, Nagasaki, we destroyed.
When Johnny Somali got to Japan in 2023, he already had a track record for trash behavior online, and he wasted no time living up to it. Japan is a country built on order, respect, and discipline, and he treated it like his personal circus. He made it his mission to go after their most sensitive history. On a Tokyo subway, with his stream running, he started loudly chanting Hiroshima Nagasaki in a mocking, exaggerated accent, adding, "You know what we do to you, we destroy it." This wasn't some clumsy joke that came out wrong. This was him deliberately poking at one of the deepest wounds in Japanese history. Over 200,000 people were killed in those bombings, and generations still live with the trauma. He turned that pain into entertainment for his viewers. He roamed the streets looking for women to harass, throwing verbal abuse until they were visibly shaken. In one case, a woman actually broke down crying and begged him to leave her alone. On top of that, he live-streamed himself tearing a Japanese flag while swearing at the country. All of this was broadcast to thousands of people in real time, with his loyal viewers cheering him on in the chat. The Japanese public reacted with fury. Major outlets like Asahi Shimbun and Mainichi Shimbun ran stories calling him a disrespectful foreigner and a history offender. His face and his actions were on national TV. He was confronted in the streets by angry locals. The pressure kept building until police finally arrested him in Osaka for trespassing on a construction site. Twitch, his biggest platform, banned him permanently, cutting off his main revenue stream. Japan officially barred him from entering for 5 years. And then came the apology, if you can even call it that.
I don't hate you guys. I don't hate Japan. I said something a little bit hurtful, and I understand that you guys are mad about it, even though it was very long ago, you know? I want to come here to enjoy Japan. I want to go to the club. I want to smash some Japanese ladies. I want to party. I want to have a good time.
He looked into the camera and gave this smug, dismissive, "I'm sorry if you're mad" nonsense, saying he just wanted to party and hook up with women in Japan. It wasn't an apology. It was him flipping the middle finger at the very people he had offended. You'd think after being kicked out of a country and losing your biggest platform, you might cool off. Not Johnny. In early 2024, he showed up in Israel, ready to repeat the same garbage.
host, Harvey Weinstein. I love you so much. You're one of my favorite top Jews. I love you.
At the Western Wall, one of the most sacred sites in Judaism, he pulled out a Harvey Weinstein poster and held it up like some twisted joke, all while making crude and mocking remarks. This was him targeting another nation's identity and culture for cheap shock value. And he still wasn't done. At an anti-government protest in Tel Aviv, he started sexually harassing a female police officer live on camera. He called her vulgar names, made graphic comments about her body, and told her he could change her life if she left her job.
Oh, you a bad bitch. I swear to God. You a bad bitch. I'll take you to dinner. I swear to God, I'll change your life. I'll change your life, baby. Baby, I'll change your life. I promise you. You a bad bitch right here. I'll change your life, baby girl. You ain't gotta work for these niggas no more.
This was a uniformed officer on duty, being humiliated in public by a man chasing views. That stunt got him arrested again, blasted all over Israeli media, and condemned on social platforms. Kick temporarily banned him, but, just like before, he slipped over to Rumble to keep streaming, because the man's only loyalty is to the attention he gets. By late 2024, he was in South Korea, and this is where it completely blew up. His first target was the Comfort Woman statue, a memorial honoring Korean women forced into sexual slavery by Japan during World War II.
I love Korea, and everything that I did in Japan was for the Korean and the Chinese people.
What did he do? He kissed it. He twerked in front of it. Then, he printed out pictures of himself doing it and handed them to strangers. This wasn't ignorance. This was deliberate humiliation aimed at a wound that is still raw in Korean history. It sparked national outrage. People posted threats against him online. Others confronted him in person. One man punched him on camera. Another kicked him as he walked. But Johnny kept going. He carried around a bag of rotten fish to stink up public spaces. He blasted music on buses and subways. He dumped instant noodles all over a convenience store counter after they refused to sell him alcohol, arguing with and taunting the elderly woman working there.
I'm not gonna drink nothing.
여기서 드시면 안 돼요.
I don't drink. Here, no drink.
이거
No. I eat the ramen.
그리고
I got cash.
It's right to say you should never have kids. Your father was right. Your father was right.
He even ran through the streets of Seoul in his underwear, yelling at bystanders to call the police. And if that wasn't enough, he stood in the street, giving a Roman salute, blasting the Japanese military march and calling for South Korea to go to war with Japan, intentionally stoking tension between two countries with a long and bitter history.
So what do you want to talk about? Swing or not? Like, nigga gonna come up to me, bro, why you being racist to other people in other countries? For money, for clout. I've said it many times. I don't give a fuck. I have no morals. I'm a fucking sociopath. I don't give a fuck. Put this in your next YouTube documentary. I don't give a fuck. Korean niggas is weak as
Swing on the nigga right now. I was waiting for him to swing on Johnny. I was waiting, bro. I was waiting for him to
We're ready. Twitter, come.
I wanted to stop on his
Hank is here tonight. We're not scared.
This time, South Korean authorities acted fast. Prosecutors charged him with obstruction of business and public disturbance. A travel ban was slapped on him so he couldn't leave while they investigated. Lawmakers started openly talking about writing new laws to deal with nuisance influencers like him. And to top it off, he was accused of narcotics possession, which in South Korea is a whole different level of trouble. When it came time for court, he walked in an hour late, wearing a red MAGA hat, hands stuffed in his pockets, smirking like it was all a joke. He pled guilty to everything. Now he's staring down a possible 46-year prison sentence, the longest in history for a streamer. His platforms are gone, multiple countries have banned him, and what used to be his content is now evidence in criminal cases. Johnny Somali's whole career has been a pattern. Every time his audience got used to the chaos, he had to crank it up another level to keep them watching. That's how this works. When your brand is built on shocking people, you're forced to keep pushing further until you've crossed every moral and legal boundary there is. He had no one in his life to pull him back. No mentor, no management, no personal boundaries. Just a camera, an internet connection, and a desperate need for attention. And the audience fed it. The donations, the subs, the cheers in chat. They all told him he was winning, when in reality he was digging his own grave. Now, look where it got him. Banned permanently from Twitch, Kick, and any platform with real reach. Blacklisted from Japan, banned from Israel, and after South Korea's done with him, who knows where else he won't be welcome. He's branded an undesirable foreigner in multiple countries. The tours, the streams, the fake bad boy image, gone. All that's left is a criminal record and a looming prison sentence that could keep him locked up for nearly half a century. From self-proclaimed global provocateur to a defendant with nothing left to provoke. When fame is built entirely on chaos, and there's no ethical limit to hold it together, the end is always the same. In the world of live streaming, attention is currency. But if attention is all you value, you'll end up paying for it with everything else you have. Johnny Somali spent years cashing in on outrage, and now he's paying the full price. So, what do you think? Is this the end of Johnny Somali? Or will people like him keep popping up as long as audiences reward this garbage? Let me know in the comments. Hit like if you think this kind of behavior needs to be shut down, and subscribe for more deep dives into the dark side of internet fame.